ومرحبا بكم في Chunking 101. Hello everybody and welcome to Chunking 101. The song that we are working with today is Enty by Saad Lamjarred. If you're an Arabic native speaker, you might be wondering why I am working with a Moroccan singer since they speak so differently, but here's the thing. For us, non-natives, Saad Lamjarred's music and other Moroccan singers seem to be very cool, and we listen to their music a lot, and so I'm like, we might as well learn what they're talking about. So as I said right now, this is a Moroccan singer, and in Morocco they speak a dialect called Darija. This dialect is so different from like the Middle Eastern Arabic that people from that area don't understand Moroccans pretty much. Some of the main differences are, first, that they use the sukun a lot. That's the little zero on top of letters, when that means that they omit sounds of letters, and that makes it sound like they shorten words. And so imagine when they speak really fast, it's like, what? The second thing is that because of the big influence that Darija has received throughout the years from the French language and even Spanish and Berber, there are a lot of words in their dialect that don't come from an Arabic origin at all, and therefore other Arabs cannot understand them at all. As always, you can find the lyrics and the translations in the description, and remember please to take note of like the things that we are going to discuss, so then you can go back and look at this. And also remember to activate your ears, okay? Active listening, because this kind of exercise or this kind of studying technique using music requires you to actually pay attention to what the singer is saying, or trying just to pick up some sounds at the beginning, even if it's not complete words, because that's the whole point of it. انتي baghya واحد. انتي baghya واحد. You, female, want someone. So here we can already see a Moroccan change, because he's saying enty for you, female, instead of anti, which is the standard way. Then he's using baghya for want, which is a Darija word, Moroccan word, okay? This doesn't come from standard Arabic. If you were gonna say it in standard Arabic, you will say anti turidina. And then واحد literally means one, but in this case, in this context, it's working as someone. So in this first line, Saad Lamjarred is saying, you want someone, he's saying it to a girl, and from now on, in the next 4 lines, he's going to describe the kind of man that he thinks the girl needs or she's looking for or best suit her. Ykoon damo baared. Ykoon damo baared. To be, or someone who is cold-blooded. Ykoon here is working as to be, and then damo, like he's saying it in a Moroccan way, because it will actually be damuhu, like his blood. Blood itself is dam. And then baared, cold. So if you put it all together, it's like to be his blood cold. Saket, dima, جامد. Saket, dima, جامد. Quiet, always frozen. Saket means quiet, and you're gonna hear it in Morocco as when they say skut, which means like quiet, quiet, you know, listen to me. However, the most used word in Arabic for it is samit. Samit. Dima is the shortened version of daiman, which means always. Jamid means frozen, literally, but it means like when something is without life. It doesn't have any life inside of it. So examples of something jamad will be like a balloon, a wall, a chair, something that is actually a thing and has no life in it. Tghalty ma yidwish. Tghalty ma yidwish. You, feminine, make a mistake and he doesn't speak. He doesn't say a word. Tghalty comes from the word ghalat, which means mistake. But this word is not that used in Arabic. Instead, they usually use the word khata. Ma is working as a negation, and then yidwish, here we have a Moroccan word, which I will explain now, but we can see that he's talking about him. He doesn't say a word because it's using the beginning ya, which is for huwa. two Moroccan phenomenons in this word are, first of all, he's negating the word from the beginning because he says ma yidwish. That shin at the end is also part of the negation. In Morocco, to negate something, they use the word mashi. So here is like he's putting the word in between the ma and she. And then the second phenomenon, like Moroccan phenomenon, is the word doui, which means to speak. But this is only used in Morocco. تلعبي عليه العشرة. تلعبي عليه العشرة. You, female, play the 10 on him. So this sentence actually has some cultural background, let's say, because he's saying you play the 10 on him. And when he says 10, he's actually referring to soccer. So in soccer, the number 10 is a player who scores goals and is always attacking. And therefore, in this context, he's using it to say like you're always attacking him and being like too harsh on him, let's say. ما يعاودش الهضرة. ما يعاودش الهضرة. Not repeating the speech, but basically saying like not responding, not giving any feedback. This comes from the word ada, which means repeat or even return. And then alhaDra means the speech in Morocco, but if you were gonna say it in standard Arabic, you will say al-kalam. يكون رجل لمرا. يكون رجل لمرا. Literally, he's saying to be the man of the woman. Rajul means man, and umra means woman. So he's saying to be the man of the woman, and what he means by this is basically like showing who's the dominant one. Because usually, you know, or at least most of the times you will say like, oh, this is my wife, you know, showing like the dominant one tends to be like the one who wears the pants is the guy. But in this case, he's showing like, no, it's the other way around. بساف على درويش. بساف على درويش. No, that's too much for him to be so nice. So in this sentence, we have two Moroccan words. The first one is bisaf. Bisaf is just a lot in Morocco, so if you're interested in this dialect, you should remember this word, bisaf. Bisaf is the equivalent of kathiran in Arabic. And then the second word is drouish, which means like when somebody is super nice, and that's a Moroccan word. So what he means in this sentence that no, that's too much for him to be so nice, is that that's not quite possible. Like really, a man like that who's always silent, like you do whatever to him, you attack him, and he's always gonna be so nice, that's too much. If we think about it, it's like, that's too much. Like the singer is kind of wondering like, what did you do to him? And according to Moroccans, like Hams and stuff, they say like he's referring to maybe she did some black magic to him for him to be this nice, because it's suspicious that he will be so nice after all what she does to him. ما لكش ليك ما تليكي ليا. ما لكش ليك ما تليكي ليا. I don't fit you and you don't fit me. I promise this is the last time that I'm gonna be like, oh, we have this Moroccan phenomenon again, but just for you to be like, okay, this happens a lot. Here you can see ma liksh, okay? You have the ma, negation, and the shin at the end. The verb that he's using in this sentence is yaliqu, which means fitting or to fit. بسف عليك وصعيب تلعبي بيا. بسف عليك وصعيب تلعبي بيا. I am too much for you to play with me. بسف عليك, I am too much for you. صعيب means difficult, and so when he says بسف عليك وصعيب, he means like it's too much and difficult for you. something to point out about this sentence is that he's saying تلعبي بيا, okay? He's saying بيا as to play with me, but in this way that he's saying it, it means playing with my feelings, بيا, okay? Like what's inside me, let's say. Because otherwise, if you want to say like playing with me as in like, okay, we're playing cards, we're playing a game, you will say تلعبي معي. It is really important that you remember that there's a difference between be and مع. An example of this is when you say قهوة بالحليب, it's like قهوة بالحليب, like together. But if you say قهوة مع حليب, it's like coffee and milk, separate. شكون اللي كذب عليك؟ شكون اللي كذب عليك؟ Who is the one that lied to you? Tell me. شكون is who, but that's a Moroccan version. In standard Arabic, you will say man. اللي, I explained it in another song, comes from alhaDra and it means the one who. اللي is also used in Egyptian dialect, so keep it in mind, you're gonna hear it a lot. كذاب means he lied, but in this case it's working as infinitive. Who is the one who lied? And then عليك, to you. وقالك باقي نية. وقالك باقي نية. And told you that I'm still naive. وقالك and told you. قال plus لك, told you. باقي means still. It refers to the duration, so like at the moment I'm still. And then نية means naive. ما بغاش قلبك يفيق. ما بغاش قلبك يفيق. Okay, careful with the pronunciation here because there are two qaf sounds, قلبك and then يفيق. It's hard for me. Your heart doesn't want to wake up. First of all, the order of words in the sentence is kind of like he's playing around with this because he's first saying like doesn't want to, ما بغاش قلبك يفيق. So if you put قلبك at the beginning, قلبك ما بغاش يفيق, it will make more sense. And then يفيق in Moroccan dialect means to wake up. فاقة in standard Arabic means to surpass. ما شديتش معايا الطريق. ما شديتش معايا الطريق. You didn't follow my path or my road. Or you didn't take my road. Shid in Morocco means grab, take, hold. So here he's negating it and saying ما شديتش, like you didn't take, معايا, with me, الطريق, like the road. So basically saying like you didn't take the same road or like you didn't follow my road, my path. عمري فيك منطق. عمري فيك منطق. That was so hard to pronounce. On you, I will never trust. So careful here when you hear the word عمري because it's usually used to say my life, my age. Like if I say أنا عمري 26 سنة, like I am 26 years old. But in this case, when he says عمري فيك, the meaning is I will never, like on you, I will never. And that's how it works in Morocco. And then he says ما نطق. نطق. ما, negation, نطق, trust. حسن ليك بعادي عليا. حسن ليك بعادي عليا. Better for you to get away from me. In standard Arabic, you will hear accent a lot, but here he's saying حسن, حسن, like better. ليك, for you. بعاد, far. عليا, from me. ربي سبحانه خلق. ربي سبحانه خلق. This sentence should be kind of split in two because the last word actually belongs to the following sentence. But the first one, the first part, when he says Rabbi Subhanahu, he's like saying, Oh God Almighty. خلق means he created. So now we will see how it goes with the following sentence. كل واحد في مكانه. كل واحد في مكانه. Each one in his place. Here we could say that, okay, خلق كل واحد في مكانه. خلق, he created كل واحد, each one في مكانه. Like when he says in his place, we could say that maybe he's meaning like in their different ways. Like he created each one in one way. علامات ساعة وبانوا. Signs of the ending of the world would appear. Here he's actually saying like signs of the end of the world appeared already, but for it to make sense in English, we're putting it this way because of what's coming after. إلا تحكمتي فيا. إلا تحكمتي فيا. If you ever make it to control me, or if you ever control me. Careful here because he's saying illa like if, but the way it's spelled in the lyrics, it's like the word to. If I say أنا أذهب إلى المدرسة, I go to school. This illa is actually working as the standard Arabic إذا, which means if. That's it for this song. I hope that from now on you will remember that in Moroccan they do like a double negation because they have the ma and the shin ending. See you in another video. إلى اللقاء.